Ain't nothing peculiar about the way that I was raised, and my arm is on the way.
There he is. Hi everyone. I'm so sorry I've been gone and haven't been working yet, or working on videos and stuff like I should be. But we're going to do a reaction to this interview that John Paul, JP, and we're going to pick it apart. There might have to be a part 1 and part 2. I think it's about an hour long. I'm not sure. And I've still got to get y'all the interview that he did with Flo too, which I got it, but it's on my other phone. So I'm going to have to try and get it somehow off that phone. So say a little prayer, cross fingers.
Here he went. He drove his poor wife to do it. Again, JP has not been charged with any crime related to Mica Miller's death. He also hasn't done much talking about all of this outside of a church service and a couple of text messages.
Okay, they at the beginning of here, they said that he had all his alibis and all confirmed and everything. Yeah, the dude had like 50 alibis. Like, come on now. It's like, to me, time stamps and all that he's got. Like, you can't be here, there, and everywhere and have receipts for all that just because they're, you know, there was a truck that, I mean, dude owns like, what, 30 cars? So, I mean, you gotta come better than that. I'm sorry.
But now he is talking. And he's talking with NewsNation. The Reverend sat down with our Rich McHugh for a wide-ranging, gloves-off interview that you're not going to see anywhere else. It is at times uncomfortable.
Oh, they really hyping this one up, huh? Oh, JP's been talking, y'all. We know this. JP has been talking. So, this ain't like nothing new or anything or something exclusive or whatever.
It is occasionally shocking, and some parts are just plain weird. I want to get straight to part 1. John Paul on the suicide, the speculation, the non-stop suspicion, plus the alibi that satisfied the police, if not his haters.
Which one? What haters?
You and I have been talking since this happened, basically, communicating over text. Why now? Why the decision to speak now after all this time has passed? Where's your head at?
Well, I think a part of it is I finally got the approval of my attorneys to do so. They, the ones working on the defamation cases, they said it's easier to win a defamation case the more the people talk, and so they've been collecting.
Oh, that's funny, JP. Defamation cases. Defamation cases for what? For what? For speaking up? For speaking the truth? Defamation. Who's defamed you? Huh? Who has defamed you? You have defamed yourself, JP. I'm sorry.
A lot of evidence over the past while.
Where?
And also I think that now that some of the emotion has died down in the world and with people that are led by their feelings, I think now they deserve to hear some logic and some truth and make their own assessment.
Logic and truth. Logic and truth. Has anything in this case had any kind of logic and truth? Someone tell me.
Do you miss her?
Yes, sir.
No, we don't.
Yes, sir.
Did you see this coming?
Yes, but it doesn't change at all the power.
Of course you saw it coming.
Of the pain of reality. I saw it coming for years. I told them for years this would happen over, and I said if she gets off her medicine, suicide is the next thing. And she tried it in the past, but with me, she always remained okay. With me, she was on her meds. With me, she was healthy and happy. And even if she did get low or stop taking her medicine, I would help her get back on it, and things would be fine without me and with.
Where's the prescriptions at? The only prescription bottles I've seen have had double labels on them, which we know, common sense, logic, JP. They don't do that. They don't put double labels on prescription bottles. You're not kidding nobody. Let's talk about logic and truth, Mr. JP.
Her family, she's off meds and she committed suicide. And I told them this would happen over and over again. I tried my best to stop her from getting a gun. I went to judges. I have copies of all the police. I talked to her counselor.
Please provide that. Please provide that evidence, JP, because we ain't seen you provide nothing yet but lies. Lies, lies, lies.
The pastor she was going to, her family, her friends, I told them all, don't let her get a gun, do whatever it takes, prevent her from getting a gun. And when she was with me, she was never able to go that far. But with them, that's exactly what happened.
Why? Because you would track her every move. If she was with a friend hanging out or something, and she was somewhere that, you know, if she wasn't up your butt all the time or whatever, you would just like cut off her cards and, you know, turn her phone off and everything. So that's what you did, JP? Is that what you did? You stole her phone so that way she couldn't get her reminders about her doctor's appointments or see about her prescription refills and things like that. Talk about logic, JP. Logic. You took her car where she couldn't get to the doctors if she needed to. Come on now, JP. Come on.
Destroyed me, and I still haven't really grasped it. Like, it hasn't. I kind of keep putting off the reality of it, and I try not to think about it as much as I can.
What was going on in your marriage the week Mica died?
The week she died, we didn't talk that entire week. I'd emailed her several times that week, and my regular emails are.
Why would you have to email you? If she is your wife, if you're this loving husband and this such a great person and everything, why was there restraining orders and things like that on you? Why would you have to email your own wife? Why? Like, to me, logically, JP, it makes no sense. Like, my husband doesn't send me emails to get in touch with me. He calls me or texts. So where's the logic in that at, JP?
Your letters telling her that I love her, and she came over to the house. The last time I saw her was a few weeks before she passed away. We spent about 4 hours together, and we hugged and kissed, and she was in and out of psychotic conversations. She would say, you know, one thing about...
So when she wasn't for JP and she woke up and saw what JP was all about, then she's psychotic and deranged and don't know what she's doing and just all kinds of crazy because she doesn't think that JP's a god and she wants to stand up for what's right.
Double agents that are following her. That was one of the phrases she would use when she was off her meds, double agents. The other phrase she would say, she wants to come home so bad but her family won't let her. She told me she wanted to live in Africa and asked me if I'd live with her. I said, sure, if you take your medicine, you know. And so she told me if I'd give her some money and if I would write her a letter saying certain things in this letter that she would take her medicine. And so I tried that, and but she desperately wanted to come home. She was just so afraid her family would disown her. And so the week before she passed away, I probably emailed her maybe 7 or 8 times that week just saying, I love you. You need your lithium. You know, don't forget who you are when you're on medicine versus who you are when you're...
Let me tell y'all, lithium is not a drug that they just hand out. JP has said before that he is on 900 milligrams of lithium. So let's pay attention. JP, your logic doesn't make sense. It just doesn't. Because it's not a drug that doctors, that's not like the first-hand drug that they hand out. And then for your wife to be on the same exact medication and dosage, and that dosage of that lithium is like really high. Even for your size and stature and everything, JP, it's a really high dosage. And I mean, you would have her drugged out of her mind where she didn't know what was going on. Of course, she probably did have some psychotic breaks being on that medication that you were forcing her to take. JP.
Off. She had lost 40 pounds in a month, and nobody that was in her life thought to take care of her. Nobody. She was living with a former registered nurse. Her family quote unquote, were taking care of her. She lost 40 pounds in 1 month, and no one thought she needed help. She was talking about living in Africa. No one thought she needed help. She's making videos on Facebook, and if you see the videos, you know it's not her because she has a different...
Hold on, he says we see the videos on Facebook. All the videos I've seen on her on Facebook is a woman that's trying to break free. Is a woman that was starting to have hope again and was starting to see light at the end of the tunnel. That was starting to have, that was, you know, fighting for the greater good. What I saw was a woman that was finally standing up. What I saw was a woman with strength, JP, and you didn't like it. That's what I saw with Mica on Facebook. Was a beautiful soul that you took away. I said what I said. Defamate that.
Cadence, a different tone, a different amount of words per minute when she's healthy and on medicine than when she's off. And the way she was even looking into space when she's taking those videos, you knew she was delusional. And if somebody loved her enough to take her to a professional and say, okay, this woman says she's being abused, or this woman says, you know, this, or she's lost 40 pounds in a month. If someone thought, I need to take her to a professional, that professional would have known that she needed medicine. And the reason I know that's true is because I took her a few weeks before she passed away. I took her to probate court. And in 3 minutes time, she went in, she walked back out. When I went in, they said, your wife is mentally ill and she needs medicine desperately. And I said, okay, let's do it. Let's get her the medicine. Let's get her help. And they said she's not a danger to anybody in society, so we can't force her to do it. But if one of her family members or friends had taken note of the way she was acting and seen what was happening to her physically and taken her to just one professional, they could have saved her life.
We're really taking some digs, ain't we? Ain't we, JP? We really take some digs at the family, huh? I thought you're supposed to be this godly preacher man, you know, sitting up on the pulpit and everything. Well, wasn't some of the emails and things like that you sent to Mica, you know, like telling her how disgusted you was by her because she wouldn't bow down to you, JP? Dude, you are sick. You're the one that's delusional.
Where were you when Mica died?
It was on a Saturday. I was in Charleston with about 100 people from my kids.
What was it?
Oh, soccer. It was a soccer tournament.
Okay, so we know, you know, I've gone through Mica's last day, pretty much almost down to the minute. Bring us through your last day. You said soccer. Do you have any documentation that they were there?
Oh, you're asking because, okay, I got you. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I can't believe people. Oh, my Lord. So, yeah, I was with about 100 people. We had dinner that night. We were all together at the soccer fields that day. After...
Yeah, didn't they say you bought dinner for some people, and that was very, very odd that JP would buy dinner or offer to buy dinner? Why would you buy dinner? That's something you normally wouldn't do because you're greedy. Why would you buy dinner that night? Why that night, JP?
After the soccer game, somebody was with me the entire time, who I can't name due to legal purposes, but I will say it's somebody that I love more than anything else on planet Earth.
Man or woman?
Young person that I cannot name due to legal purposes, but somebody that I am responsible for and love very, very much. And that person was with me, and we went shopping in Charleston, and we got food in Charleston, and there's all the receipts from that throughout the time. I think we might have gotten gas too, and then I made it back to Myrtle Beach. And I was just actually looking today at emails that I sent her that day. I sent her 4 emails that day, and I just noticed today that 2 of those she wasn't able to read because it was after it had happened.
What do you think happened that day?
So, according to what she's tried to do in the past, and according to her doctors who have taken care of her for years, and according to me who's seen it over and over again.
Why is it just you? Why is it just you, JP? Why? I don't understand that. I'm sorry. Her family does not seem like the type of people that would do anything to harm her or put her in harm's way. If anything, you were the one that always put her in harm's way. Aren't you armed and ready? Huh, JP? Aren't you armed and ready, big boy?
I imagine that she was in an incredibly euphoric attitude. I saw her pictures on the Dick's Pawn Shop. Someone sent me screenshots of the Dick's Pawn Shop pictures where she's smiling. Which out of the 6 or 7 times that she tried to commit suicide in the past, Only one of those times was she depressed. The other times, she was very euphoric. And she would wake up and say, I think I'm supposed to die today. And I said, no, honey, you're not going to do that. She said, well, my mind tells me that I'm supposed to kill myself. I said, we're not going to listen to your mind. We're going to take you to a doctor and get you help. And I discovered, of course, that she had stopped taking her meds each time. But either way, she was in a euphoric attitude. And so you see the difference.
Because this is one story for the full hour, one exclusive story, an interview with the only living person who can help, planned for that Saturday afternoon in the woods, and where exactly they...
All right, y'all, I'm back. Dogs and all.
could find her body. Took about 10 minutes. 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
And they found Mica Miller's body. And though JP had an alibi, and it was verified, and police had receipts and videos, and Mica's own words pointing to suicide, Mica's family and Mica's friends, and seemingly half of the internet